welcome back to my YouTube channel. Are you wondering what business expenses you can claim as tax deductible? Let's go. Now I'm going to be talking about tax deductions that you do not want to miss. So first, let's start by understanding what tax relief is and what claiming expenses back actually means. So an example of this would be if you received income of £30,000 and you had expenses of £10,000. You would pay tax on £20,000, your profit, right? This would be the tax rate applicable depending on the year and the type of company setup that you have. So for a limited company in 2022, this would be 19%, which equals £3,800. This is where the word tax relief or deductions comes from, because they reduce your income. It's really important not to make mistakes with tax itself. If your tax bill is £10,000, you can't go and find £10,000 worth of expenses. That won't reduce it. So whether your tax bill is, say, 19% corporation tax for your company, so you'll have to reduce your tax by, that £10,000 will reduce your tax by £1,900 in this example. So now you know what tax relief is, let's find out what expenses you can claim back. These things can change from year to year and rules are changing all the time. So it's my job as an accountant in the UK to keep on top of these things. The best way I can do this is to keep you updated. So the description below will have an update. So please do check it out if anything changes from this video. A final point before we get into the different expenses that you can claim is that even though we call them tax deductions, some expenses are not actually deducted. For example, capital expenses. So these would be capital items within the business which would normally be depreciated over a certain amount of years. When it comes to tax deductions, you claim back most costs that you're spending for business purposes. There's lots and lots of rules and exclusions too, and they do change, so you need to reach out for specific advice to your accountant. If any of these are paid personally, you can also still put them through the business. Just let your accountant know so that they're not missed on your returns. You may hear your accountant utter the words wholly and exclusively. This is a big thing in the accounting world. So this is a general rule set by HMRC. And basically, if the expenses are wholly and exclusively for business purposes, then you should, in theory, be able to claim them. So without further ado, let's get into it. Number one, startup costs. So this can include everything that is a cost to set up the business, from paying to set up the company on Companies House and actually registering your business, to market research and advertising. Next up, we have bank fees. So all your bank fees and things such as loan interest, these are all deductible. After that, we have travel and accommodation. Now, as long as you're travelling for business purposes, you can claim your hotel stay back. This must be in line with your role, so you can't stay, well, you can't anyway stay in a luxury suite in the Shard, for instance, as HMRC would deem that as excessive. It must be reasonable, so around 150 to 200 per night is acceptable. We also have things like taxi fares, train fares, parking costs, and even flights are all tax deductible. At the time of booking, you need the main purpose and the intention of the trip to be related to the business. Next up, very important one, employees. You can pay all of your employees as tax deductible expenses. You can even set yourself up on a salary within the business as the director. You can also claim the pension payments. So you can do this up to £40,000. Next up is entertainment. Now, entertaining clients or prospects is absolutely not allowable for tax purposes. Staff entertainment, however, is allowable. So be basically talking more about trivial benefits in my next point. However, I just wanted to discuss things such as an annual party or an event. It must be an annual event, open to all employees and cost less than £150 per head. You can even technically have multiple events as long as it's within that year, and it's still altogether less than £150 per head. The next part I'm going on to is gifts. So if you're giving gifts to your clients, this is tax deductible. However, they must have a logo on and cost less than £50. They can't be things such as food, drink, alcohol, cash. Then we have gifts to employees. So gifts to employees are allowable for tax purposes as long as they are a trivial benefit. To be a trivial benefit, it needs to cost less than £50. It cannot be a reward for work or services performed, and it cannot be contractual, and you cannot be able to redeem a voucher for cash. So this can be great for employees' birthdays and Christmases, Easter, things like that. Directors cannot receive more than £300 of trivial benefits in a year if they are part of a limited company with fewer than 5 shareholders. Next up, we have computers and laptops. Now, all work laptops, computers, things like that, can be tax deductible. Even things like equipment, so printers, scanners, all of that tax deductible. Remember though that these types of expenses will normally be depreciated, and they'll still be recovered, but they'll be depreciated over a certain amount of time. This video is proudly sponsored by our friends at Xero. Xero is a fully making tax digital compliant accounting software to help you run your business by sending invoices, creating expense claims, viewing reports, and helping you get paid quicker. It has a large variety of apps that you can choose from in the App Store, so any apps that you currently use can integrate seamlessly through Xero's App Store. HubDoc is used for any manual data entry, so these can include any kind of receipts and invoices as attachments on your transactions in Xero. You can also have fixed assets and inventory directly through Xero. Xero's main dashboard is really user-friendly, so it has your bank account, cash in and cash out, accounts to watch, bills that you need to pay, and invoices that need to be paid to you. Thanks Xero, back to the video. Mobile phones. If it's in the name of the limited company, it is fully tax deductible. You are allowed 1 mobile phone per employee, and it's not any kind of benefit in kind. So no other taxes need to be paid. If your agreement is in your personal name, then these do not relate to the business, unless you can show that certain amounts are purely business related. So if you have business calls on there that you can show, then great. It's important to know that you can sell your actual phone to the limited company. Next up is broadband. Okay, so you can't claim your standard personal broadband against the business. If you bought an additional broadband package that was purely for the business, then you could put this through. You can also show the additional amount paid from your personal plan to the business plan to put this through as an expense. Insurance. Now we've all got insurance, so business insurance, like public liability, professional indemnity, all of those can go against the business. Advertising and marketing. You spend money on your business to be able to make money for your business, so it's allowable. Next up is clothing. Now, if it is branded clothing or safety wear, then they're tax deductible. So if you bought a new top, it wouldn't be tax deductible. However, if it was branded, great. Training and professional subscriptions. Now, training expenses are tax deductible if you're improving your current skills and building on your current area. You couldn't put it through if you're a graphic designer and you're completing training to become a hairdresser. It just wouldn't make sense. If you're a member of a professional body or an association, you can put this through as a tax deductible expense. So make sure you do. Next up is one that I get asked about all the time. car and mileage. You can claim up to 100%, deductible if you purchase an electric car for business purposes. So this is the same as with equipment such as computers, where you would basically claim back as capital allowances, meaning that you would deduct part of the value from your profits each year. If you use the car personally, be aware that this would count as a benefit in kind, and you would need to therefore pay Class 1A national insurance on it. The way fuel is calculated depends if it is a company vehicle or a personal vehicle. If you're using your own personal vehicle, you must keep a log of all your business miles. There's loads of apps to help you with this. And you must have details of the business reason for the journey. So these are paid out at 45p per mile for the first 10,000 miles. And over and above this, you'll be paid 25p per mile. If the car's a company car, you can pay for all the fuel directly through the business bank. Please make sure that you keep your receipts. You can do this electronically, so let me know if you need any assistance with that. Next up is the use of home as an office. Now, if you're using your home as an office, you can claim £6 per week as a flat rate deduction. You don't need to have any actual full office as long as it's an area where you spend your time on your business. You can either be reimbursed this, or it can just go directly to your director's loan account. And one of my favourites, are you ready for this? Accountancy fees. So these go against your business as a deductible expense. So just make sure that they are the business's accounting fees, not your personal accountancy fees. And the list is pretty much endless. You've got services, subscriptions, any apps you need in your business. You'll have stationary and outsourced workers potentially helping you. You can even have virtual mailbox services. If you have an office outside of your home and you have business invoices that you can then put these through. So things like your water, gas, electricity, internet bills, things like that. Remember that you need to keep all of your records, preferably digital, for 6 years plus the current tax year. Thank you so much for watching. This is Simplex Accounting, and I hope you've really enjoyed the YouTube channel. If we can help in any way, you want us to cover anything, just let us know. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, comment down below anything you want in my next YouTube videos, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.